There's a really important shift in the history of pain in the 1840s. In the 1840s, for the first time, you get really effective pain relief. You get the invention of chloroform and ether so that people actually can be rendered unconscious when they're undergoing major operations. Now, what I find interesting is this: why isn't it used? Why is it that it takes decades before effective pain relief is actually used on patients? You know, and I think that's a real mystery. I think there are a number of reasons why pain relief exists, effective pain relief exists, but it's not used. I think partly it's because of religious ideas. So this notion that pain actually is something good. Pain is something that draws you closer to God. It reminds you of sin. It forces you to contemplate your life, to think, well, why am I in pain? What have I done wrong? And therefore to reconcile yourself to being a better person. That doesn't change really until it starts changing late 19th century. But even today, a lot of people refuse effective pain relief because they believe that pain actually does serve a positive function. It is difficult to talk about pain. Sometimes, you know, when we're suffering ourselves, we think that we don't have a language to talk about it. I think, in a part, you know, that's true about lots of things. It's very difficult to talk about a lot of emotional things that we feel. For example, the language we have to talk about sexual love or to talk about parental love is also full of cliches and very difficult. So I don't think pain is unique in that sense. However, there are certain things about pain that do make it particularly difficult to communicate. And I think one of the things that I'm very interested in is that people in pain understand that in talking about pain, particularly to their loved ones, they can be guilty of inflicting pain. So in other words, you know, when you talk about pain to those near to you, sometimes, you know, you can see that you are causing pain in that other person. There's a wonderful story, Rachel Betts, who was an 18th century sufferer, and she was talking about, you know, that when she was talking about her exquisite suffering, she was saying, you know, she said that, and then I noticed that my sister was crying because my sister was feeling for me. And then, of course, a few minutes later, when her mother comes in, and Rachel says, well, my mother asked, how are you? And Rachel says, I said, just fine. Because, of course, she doesn't want to inflict pain on her mother in the way that she inflicted it on her sister. So I think that is one reason why we shut up. Of course, pain does not only alienate people from other people. You know, it's not only an alienating force. Indeed, what I argue throughout the book is that pain is absolutely crucial in forging bonds of love and community. That, you know, by seeing the suffering of other people, you actually form friendships and you form these sort of really tight bonds, and that's what's important. That is why we need to learn how to talk or experiment in talking about pain to those around us. By watching others suffer, by listening to the suffering of other people, we actually can develop new ways of feeling sympathy and of understanding what it means to be human, what it means to suffer, and what it means to reach out to other people who are suffering. And that's the important thing in pain narratives, that enables us to reach out and help other people. And that's an important thing.